believed that comics is a legitimate art form, and it was so frustrating being in college. Like, there are certain artists that were allowed into the curriculum and certain artists that weren't. And I would always ask them, like, when I was back in school for painting and printmaking, like, we could look at Andy Warhol, we could look at Ansel Kiefer or David Saldi or somebody, but I was like, well, what about Jack Kirby? Like, can we look at Jack? Like, no, that's comic books. And then it's like, okay, well then, is it merely money? Like, do you just want to see some money? Here's Frank Frazetta, motherfucker. You happy now? But then it's like, that's not enough. There is something that's very special to comics that makes it a different art medium. The French call it the ninth, right? We already have dance, poetry, literature, music, right? Go on the line. And then eventually comics is something, it's a weird hybrid of storytelling and picture making. And I think it's its own medium. It's special. It really is.
Sorry, Mobigs. I didn't know that Mobius clip was still in there. Usually I like to play like 2 to 3 clips beforehand. 4 is a bit much. And I was ready to go live. I had the shtick ready, anticipating the screen going. And then the Mobius clip played. Apologies, my apologies. I was not taking a dig at you, Mobigs, but if you gotta run, you gotta run, man. But hopefully you can stick around for just a little bit. Enough for... Yeah, we won't get to comics by the time you have to leave, knowing the speed that I go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday for my Wednesday comics. There was no way I was going to be able to stream yesterday. It was insane. My life's getting a little bit insane. Part of it has to do with the holidays rolling in. Part of it has to do with a few projects that I'm working on. So yeah, it's all good stuff, fortunately, but it's also really insane to work out my schedule and how everything goes. So we'll see how we can get through till the end of the year. It'll be interesting. If you don't hear from me for the next 6 weeks, then call the police. No. We're gonna do our darndest to keep going, and we've got the weekly My Wednesday comic streams. There's nothing stopping me from going to the comic book store every week, and I love sharing that with you guys here on this channel. And then there's also the Master Study series that we got to get going. A lot of you friends in the chat were there to vote on the 10th Master Study that I will be doing, live streaming it. It's a Jack Kirby double page spread. We're doing a Doctor Doom, amazing Doctor Doom image, and I'm very, very excited to get started on that. There's been a lot of prep work to get that piece ready. So yeah, I really wanted to actually get that going earlier this week, but there was just no way. So I would love to get that going. I would love to get at least one stream in before Thanksgiving hits. That would be a great goal. So we'll see. We'll shoot for that. But it's already November 20th, which is insane. But anyway, for those of you who are new here, my name is Rocky Ballesteros. I love comics. I love sharing comics with the YouTube audience, with all of you guys. And I'm just so thankful for the community that's been built here so far. 670 subscribers. We eked past that 666 subscriber mark a week or so ago. That was, at first we were gunning for it, and then when it hit, I was like, oh, that's uncomfortable. And then quickly after, 667 came. So we snuck past the mark of the beast. YouTube didn't implode on me. And here we are at 670 subscribers. Amazing. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so. I appreciate everybody here who joins me in this, who supports me, who pops into the chat, who supports me through a subscription basis, all the things. I really, really appreciate it. Without you guys, it would not be half as fun. And I'm constantly thinking about this channel, the chat, when I go to the comic book store. It's no longer a solo event for me. It's like when I read a book, I'm like, oh, can I talk about this, or maybe I can present this through a YouTube short, like my Comics Yeah, Comic Nah YouTube shorts. Or maybe this one will be great to like go a little bit more in depth in on stream. So yeah, you guys are like that permanent third voice, fourth voice, maybe seventh voice in my head as I go and explore comics on a daily. And this week is pretty cool because we got not too many current books that came in today or this week, yesterday. But we do have a few. One book I found in a used bookstore, one book I picked up at the library, or two books I picked up at the library, and then a couple books at a couple floppies at the comic book store, and a graphic novel at the comic book store that I bought too. So a lot of good stuff to tackle today. But before we get into that, we got to shoot the fat, which is my favorite segment, where I just get to catch up with you guys and say hello to people in the chat, like this gentleman, Cranberry Langers.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
Which this is what Emo Trash was talking about. Look at that. Now it says Cranberry Langers 1. Before that was the cool Cranberry Langers with an exclamation mark, which I always thought was kind of genius, Cranberry, because every time you got tagged in the chat, it's like it was like a party because you had that exclamation mark built into your profile. But now it's a 1. It's not that big of a party anymore. You're just the first Cranberry Langers in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's weird that YouTube did that, huh? I wish I had control over what the weird things that YouTube does, but I don't. So we just got to roll with it, right? Mark's Music Obsession? Yeah, that does look weird. It doesn't look the same. Channel member, Mark's Music Obsession. Channel member, Cranberry Langers. My apologies, Cranberry. You're definitely a channel member. But yeah, that doesn't look the same with all lowercase. That's weird. This is gonna take a little bit of while getting used to. So what the heck? Mo Big's in the house. Hopefully Mo Biggs is still in the house.
Better known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
Also a channel member, thanks to gift membership that was laid out last week. Mo Biggs is a channel member, which is awesome. And if you aren't a channel member, and maybe you want to be, you can subscribe. Oh no, there's like a join button at the bottom. And for $1.99, you can become a channel member here, which I appreciate wholeheartedly. It's not a heavy monetary lift, but I understand that money is money and hard-earned money. But the fun thing with becoming a channel subscriber here on YouTube is you get the channel subscriber badge, so you can see in the YouTube chat, the little badges are from my Master Studies series, and depending on how long you're here, they'll change. And then you also get to use some emojis, so people drop in the channel member emojis, if you will, those of you who can. We got some fun emojis that just play up to the silliness that is here in chat. So come join us. Mark's Music Obsession says, hey, again, going to try and watch, but have a meeting going. No problem. Mo Biggs, we already said Mo Biggs is in the house. No intro countdown today. I'm going to have to leave in like 10 minutes. So maybe you already left. But I'm glad you showed up, because I do remember you saying, I think it was in the comments of one of my videos, you said that Thursday is not a good day for you to stream or to be in a stream. So that's a bummer. But I'm glad you stopped in and said hello anyway. Emo Trash says, too late, Rocky. Channel member Emo Trash. Yes, you are a member, Emo Trash. You became a member. I think you got a gift membership last stream as well. Can I give? Let's see. I don't think I have any more memberships. No, I don't have any more gift memberships to give out today. At the beginning of December, I will have 10 more to give out, and I'll dole those out as I can. For those of you who don't know, gift memberships are just randomly, they're given to the creators who own the YouTube channel, and they're just random when you send them out. I can't choose. You get a gift membership. You get a gift membership. I'm not Oprah of gift memberships, but yeah, they're just random, and lucky for some people it landed on, some people it doesn't. It's just how it goes. But I get 10 to shoot out, so I try and just hand them out when they come, but it'll renew next month. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 is in the house.
How do you say monkey in French?
And I think I saw later in the chat, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, that you did receive your package today. I hope you enjoyed that. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 sent me a book that a studio that I used to be a part of, that I owned, co-founded. A book we produced. It was called The Little Lost Ghosts. And you can watch that stream when we unboxed it and showed that book. I flipped through it. But Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 graciously sent it my way and asked if I would do a little doodle in it. So I did and sent it back to him. So glad it got to you okay. Hopefully it's in the same condition as when you sent it. Jeffrey Beats 948. What's up with that? That's the weird YouTube thing going on. Good day. I thought no video today. There is a video today.
50% bogan, 100% bogan.
Jeffrey Beats is just confused because he's on the other side of the planet. Good day from a beautiful me and Jen today. Always happy to see you, Jeffrey Beats. And you've been doing an awesome job of contributing to... Is Mo out of the room? Discord? To my Discord channel. Please join if you haven't already joined. We've gotten a couple new members in the last week or so that's been awesome. But Jeffrey Beats has been doing a great job of like posting awesome links, sharing videos of books that he's found at comic conventions, sharing photos of conventions as well. Really awesome. I love it. It's just this amazing way of seeing the other side of the world or into somebody's life with, in regards to like comics and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to see into your guys' life otherwise. Unless you have cat pictures. And I also love seeing into people's lives of their cat pictures. But for any of you guys who are part of my Discord channel, if you don't mind dropping a invite link into the chat and I can pin it at the top, that would be awesome. But yeah, come join Discord. It's been a lot of fun. Just fun growing that channel, growing a community outside of YouTube so that it's not always relying on me streaming half the time, but it can just be a continuing conversation. I also get to talk to you guys and say like, oh yeah, I'm streaming today, I'm not streaming today, or people ask me, so that's been fun. Mo Big says, I'm going to need you to derail Rocky a little extra for me today since I can't be here, emo trash. Whew, you picked the right person. So there you go. The lovely Sherry is here. What's up, Sherry? Awesome to see you. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before, but awesome to have you here. Always welcome new people into our chat. Get comfortable. We're going to be talking about a lot of comic stuff and a lot of shenanigans, but a lot of comic stuff today. It's fun. My Wednesday comic, I get to share what I pick from the store every week. Also share books that I've bought or run across or order in the mail. It's just my way of connecting with people over my love of comics, which is such an incredible... It's an incredible medium. It really is. And it's not unlike any other out there, any art form out there. That's kind of what that Paul Pope clip that played before my stream started, what he was talking about. And he's 100% in on comics. And to tie it all together, he is one of the books that I have today. Paul Pope is one of the books we'll be going over today. So awesome having you, lovely Sherry. Please hit that like and subscribe if you don't mind. Wait, when did YouTube make Rocky's char gay here too? Oh, I think that's what you're talking about. All the profile names. I don't know why I did it. It's weird. Now John won't show up here either. Now John won't show up. Why not? John's an enigma. We need more John. Everybody knows today is Friday for Jeffrey Beats. Oh, I think you're right. Because my wife is getting on a flight. She's on the other side of the world right now, coming back home. And I think it's Friday where she is getting on her flight. So I think you're absolutely right. Oops, in the future. What's it like living in the future, Beats? What is it like? Saying hello to everybody. Lovely Sherry saying hello. YouTube using our name. Okay, yes. I think you bought G.I. Joe. Do you? Do you think that? What makes you think that? I was on a G.I. Joe kick. Or I won't say was. I had a G.I. Joe streak for a while when I was picking up the new G.I. Joe that came out, or that has come out from Skybound. Duke, Cobra Commander. There was one other. Duke, Cobra Commander. Scarlet. I didn't pick up Destro. And I thought there was one of that. But I am a fan of G.I. Joe. I love it a lot. And I love how they're trying to reinvent it a little bit. And now they are starting the... What are those guys called? Oh, man. Why am I blanking on their names? It's not Ragnarok. I'm getting my comic things confused. What is the name? It's not the Raptors. It's the... G.I. Joe comic. I know somebody's yelling at me right now in the chat. I'll find it in a second. I don't want to delay this anymore. I'll find it. But yeah, they're starting a new mini series. It's in the G.I. Joe line. Yeah. Unhinged is in the chat. Let's moving right along. Is this live on tape? No, it's live on tape. Who records on tape anymore? What kind of crazy question is that, Unhinged? You are still at work, but awesome to see you here. How are you doing, Jason? I have not been in your senior show. Go subscribe to Jason's channel if you get a chance. I have not been in one of his shows or watched one of his shows in a long while. I don't know if you've been streaming less or it's just been I've been out of touch more. Possibly both. But go subscribe to Jason's channel. He's got some great streams there. He does drawing. Love Jason's work. And he is, I think Frog G campaign is still up. I don't think you closed that yet, or did you? See, this is where I'm behind a little bit. Jeffrey Beats asks a great question. How many comic book shops in your area, Rocky? So I visit regularly, I'd say 4. But in my area, like within decent driving, I want to say 7. Yeah, I think 7 stores locally here. And then if you go a little bit farther out, like the East Bay, which is like across the Bay Bridge, or a little farther south, there's like, yeah, more than a dozen, So quite a few. We are spoiled here. But I'd like to say I definitely frequent 3 to 4. And I try and rotate around and for different reasons. Some carry books, like some have a lot of the current books that come out, so they keep a good stock of that. Some carry lots of variant covers, which we will talk about today. Specifically, this one book we'll talk about that had like 1,000 variant covers. Some carry great back issues, and some I just like going because I like the owners, So there's all sorts of different reasons depending on what I'm looking for, what my mood is. I definitely feel spoiled to have that many choices. So, yeah. 4 I like to frequent, but in the area about 7. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says, struck by lightning, went missing, finding my way back to the internet. I hope that's a metaphor for something and not... I just heard that one One of my close friends, I was eating dinner with one friend, and he said, "Hey, did you hear that so-and-so, like, did you ever hear the story that he was struck by lightning as a kid?" And I was like, what? Like, you would think that that would come up in conversation for as many years as I've known him, but it hasn't. And so I need to ask him what the heck was going on there. But apparently he was struck by lightning as a kid. Mo Big says, I can't believe Rocky is delaying the start of the stream under these circumstances. You know it takes me a while to get warmed up and start making off-color comments in the chat. I do. And if you're gone, I think Mo Big's had to leave if I caught it out of the side of my eye. But that's too bad. Too bad. We'll miss those off-color comments, Mo Bigs. So when you go back and rewatch this, because I know you will, right? As a good faithful subscriber would do, you go back and watch all my streams that you miss. You can leave off color comments in the comment section. How about that? I'll take those. That would be awesome. YouTube touching things that didn't need to be fixed. That is the way that goes. Chartreuse these comments. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says, or whatever that word is. Cranberry Landers says, it's annoying they're trying to get in on X territory. YouTube is? How would changing the profile names get in on X territory? All these social things are trying to... I mean, it makes sense. It's like a competition for your attention. So the easier and the more like natural they can make the interaction, whether that's adding more live videos to X or adding more, I don't know, X-like features to YouTube, whatever, the more that they'll be able to keep you in their ecosystem, which is why I like to buck the ecosystem and set up different things like Discord, like Fourth Wall, which is my other site that I'm on. That's more of like a Patreon for me, where you can subscribe to my channel there on Fourth Wall for a nominal monthly fee, and then you get access to other things, like you get a special Discord status on that, connecting those two, and then you also get access to all the Master Study artwork, high-res scans of all that artwork there. Once I finish with this Jack Kirby one, that'll be another one, but you get high-res scans of the pencils and the inks on that, so that's really cool. And then eventually when I start selling more of my original art, or, you know, long-term goal of like selling out a comic, you'll get some access there too. So yeah, come join us on Fourth Wall. But I like to buck that system and diversify and like split out things, just because at any given time, one of these platforms could say, nope, we're going to shut down your pipeline, and then you're screwed, especially if you've spent a long time, which a lot of creators have spent years and years and years building their channels. That's kind of scary to me. So as much as I can kind of split it out, it takes a little bit more effort to maintain, to keep it interesting, to make sure they don't die in the vine. But I think in the long run, it's worth it. And hopefully these communities kind of build on themselves as opposed to me doing everything, which is what's going on in Discord. And I appreciate all you guys who are involved with that. Excuse me. He's never done this many in a row. Sorry. You need to add one of Old Greg, Rocky. Old Greg. Old Greg. Who's Old Greg? Jeffrey Beat says Mobius is awesome. It's a guy driving by a face. Now, see, it says typical tea green. This is the confusion, but I'm pretty sure...
Roses are red. Violets are blue.
This is our good friend, Lindsay Rose. How are you doing, Lindsay Rose? Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Always great having you here. Rocky hasn't been so deeply involved with Stalin since... That's a good one, Mobigs. That's a good one. Friday for Wednesday comics. That's right. That's right. We will get that going as any time. Wednesday is nice because it's in the middle of the week, but it gives you a few more days in case you miss that Wednesday. So that we're taking advantage of that right now. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 always saying hello to my blinky printer light over here. Maybe that's got to turn into emoji. Once we get more subscribers, I can add more emoji to the subscribers, the subscriber emojis here on YouTube. So maybe that's got to turn into one, because Mr. Monkey Boy always notices. If we don't hear from Rocky for 6 weeks, his second favorite cat is eating good. Have you heard those horrible stories about people that they lose touch with people and then come to find out they like died at home or something, and they had cats, and those cats are still alive because they were able to eat something? Yeah, that would be a horrible way to go. Horrible. Thanksgiving's coming up fast. It is. Gobble, gobble. Hopefully you guys have some great Thanksgiving plans. We're going to stay local here. I have some family here, so it'll be nice to kind of connect with them and celebrate with them. I hate traveling during the holidays. I don't like traveling in general. I like going places. I don't like the act of traveling. I mean, not many people do. But Thanksgiving is always the worst to travel during. It's one of the most busiest travel days. All the delays going on at the airlines. Ugh, yeah, I just can't. And also thinking of like, who's going to take care of our cats? Who's going to, watch the house? Who's going to, whatever. All those kind of things. They really stress me out. So I like to stay local as much as I can. And it's nice that there is some family nearby. But so hopefully you guys have good plans for Thanksgiving. It's always a wonderful time to just take a break and honestly to remember what it is to be thankful. We've got a lot to be thankful for. I have a lot to be thankful for right now and just in life. And it's easy to lose sight of that. So it's really good to have a day or a holiday that says, hey, don't forget to remember to be thankful. We've got a lot to be thankful for. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for this channel. I'm thankful that we can talk about comics all day long. There's nothing stopping me from stopping at the comic book shops every week. Has been stopped many times in the past. Stop it, emo trash. What is up with these username changes? I don't know, Lindsay Rose. I hate these name changes. How's anyone supposed to recognize me? With a black profile picture too. I mean, all black circle. It's really hard. You get lost in the crowd. Okay, can somebody please explain this to me? What is this trend? I see it a lot in sports videos that I watch or social media videos. What the heck is this trend? I know it was like some clip of a kid watching a basketball game, I think, or like a local basketball game, and then he did something and everybody went crazy and it's just turned into this viral thing. But I'm like, I don't understand it at all. And there's so much attention given to something I don't understand that's like, I don't know. I'm like, it's not even funny. It's just weird. The 666 message in the Discord brought me joy. Yes, that's one thing I did post in Discord, a screenshot of when I hit. It was like literally after, like right when I found it, I took a screenshot and posted that in Discord. So it was really funny. Congrats on 670. Thank you, Cranberry Landers. Yeah, it's really great. It's really great. There we go. Lime Jello emojis from Lindsay Rose. That's a good one. And I am seriously considering making that recipe for this Thanksgiving potluck I'm going to. I may, if I do, and if for those of you who don't even know what I'm talking about, you can watch on my channel how to make lime jello. It was a recipe that Lindsay Rose herself sent. Really fun, and I actually ate it on stream too. You can watch one of my Wednesday comics. I don't know if it was a live stream that I ate the lime jello. Tried it out for the first time on stream. I may take out the walnuts. It was like one too many textures when I thought back on it. I like the flavor of it, but it was one too many textures. So I may take out the walnuts. If I do it, I'll let you guys know. I don't usually have to ask, do you know who I am? Like this, unless I'm being made to wait in some sort of line. Ridiculous. Do you know who I am? That never works. When has that ever worked as a response in when somebody has like bad customer service, or like Mo Biggs gave an example right now, waiting in line? When has that ever worked? Do you know who I am? And they're like, oh, apologies, I didn't know who you were, but now I do. And here is your room, sir. Never works. If I only had a Helmo emoji here. That's right. We celebrate the weird milestones. We absolutely do. They don't allow exclamation points in the names. Bummer. Yeah, your name isn't all caps anymore. No more screaming cranberry langers from the rooftops anymore. Yes. Yes. I really don't understand the reasoning of why they would do this. But this is the first time I've actually noticed that it happened on my channel. So maybe it just happened here. Hail Rocky, hail the chat later, everybody. See you later, Mo Biggs. Thanks for stopping by. Wait till they change them back, maybe. Hopefully. Then it'll be even more confusing. John isn't going to be in chat till they change it back. Is that what he said? Is it because we learn more about John if we don't see his profile picture name as John? That's interesting. And sucky, too. But Mr. Monkey Boy 1960 says, I don't need no stinking badge. No, you're a faithful member here, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. Screw those badges. If I could hand them out to specific people, I would give one for you. So let's just say that. Comrade Sammy, all right. Nice to see you. She says, okay, I may not be first in chat, but I ain't last. And that was my standard I gave to myself. Well done, Comrade Sammy. And thank you for your comment earlier when I was posted on my community tab that I wasn't streaming yesterday. Comrade Sammy came in. So awesome seeing you here. The chat ninja is here. Low standard. If there was a random couple weeks where I was being gifted memberships for all sorts of channels, so I flat out can't remember where I have memberships and where I don't. Oh, you just had the lucky membership magnet turned on or something. I don't know. Sometimes that happens to me. I'm like, whoa, I was gifted a member. Whoa, okay. Yeah, it's just so random. It's a weird. I get it. I think. My feeling is like they gift it to people who used to be active in your channel and aren't, to try and hook them back in. I think. Random. Yes, cat pictures, awesome. Gassy cat videos, love it. I will take all cat videos. My favorite obsession right now is the AI cat video, which I think is probably the only good thing for AI. The AI cat videos where they're playing instruments. Have you seen that one? They have a cat like outside of a door of a house and he's playing random instruments like a violin or a drum set. And they're really well done. And then the owner will come out of the house and go, hey, keep that down. And it's just like, it'll just cut to the next instrument. The cat's like furiously playing it. It's hilarious. And I keep seeing them because I keep clicking on them, but they're really funny. So I love all those. You don't want to see into my life, Rocky? Oh, the shock. Did I just hear something? Oh, Cranberry scared me. Cranberry Langers sent a gift membership. Thank you so much for doing that. And who in the world? Daniel Gazet just got it. Okay. This is the randomness of YouTube gifted memberships. I really don't get it. But thank you for doing that, Cranberry Landers. Wow, another one, Cranberry Landers. He's trying to like target people, I think. Let me see. Well, we'll see who else is coming in. Yeah, sometimes it tells me who gets it and sometimes it doesn't. We'll see. If it pops in here who got it, Cranberry, I'll throw it up here on the chat. But I can't see who got the last couple right now. It's so random. It's weird. It is really weird. Maybe it's different if you send out one at a time versus a bulk amount at a time. I don't know. I just don't get it. I didn't even know you could do it until somebody did it on my channel. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says, my cat is invisible. Have there been cat pictures provided other than mine? Emo Trash, I put that one. I think you put that picture of your cat on your keyboard. And I think I added one of mine because my cat does that all the time. The crazy thing with cats is they all do the same things. The same annoying things, especially. Like mine is about to start bugging me. He just woke up. They do the same annoying things. So oh no, it's getting close to their dinner time. It's gonna get a little noisy in there. Lindsay Rose said, I almost asked if we have a stream today on Discord. Yeah, you could do that. And I would have said yes. Yes, we are. The Clark Kent 733. So I don't know who that is. Welcome, the Clark Kent 733. You might be somebody that always comes. Maybe not. Enigma. Maybe. Drop some riddles in the chat. You just sent your wife off into the world? She just went, man. She didn't even ask. She just took off. Now she was visiting some family and taking a break, and it was good. It's good, but I can't wait to have her back. Zaid Comics in the house. How you doing, Phil? Great seeing you here. Hello, hello. Zaid Comics says your book's going out tomorrow. Crayon shirt too. Awesome. Zaid Comics is fulfilling his campaign, The Man with No Strings. Go check it out at his website, zaidcomics.com, right? I think it is. It's a cool campaign. He's doing the Ashcan right now for issue 1. Looks great. Black and white, Western, awesome artwork. I'm excited to see it. Every time I hear Ragnarok, my brain goes to the Fallout comic book character Grognak. One of my friends has one of my friend's daughters has a friend named, I think it's Zabar. And I always get it confused with Zaymot from G.I. Joe. So when he's talking about it, I always think of Tomax and Zaymot, which are amazing characters in G.I. Joe. But yeah, that tracks Emo Trash. If I heard Ragnarok and you knew a character named Grognak, I would think the same. So many shops. Yes, spoiled. Thank you. Yes, streaming less. Been busy. And yes, thank you. Frog G2 is still in demand on Instagram. Instagram. Indiegogo. Why is Indiegogo IGG? Indiegogo. Oh, okay, I get it. I always get that confused with Instagram. IG. And then some people use IG for like, I guess. So confusing. All these abbreviations. Anyway, go back Frog G2 on Indiegogo. You can look it up on Unhinged Entertainment, Jason's website. Go subscribe to his channel too. Awesome content. Frog G looks great, everybody, if you're looking for an independent book. And bathed in chemicals. I'm a little lost on that one. The Clark Kent 733. You were shocked to hear of his lightning storm. Well done. Don't forget you have to study for your Australian test over the next 6 weeks, Rocky. That is a side conversation Jeffrey Beats is having with me, or a comment that he left about terms, Aussie terms, because if you don't know, Jeffrey Beats is from the other side of the world in wonderful Australia. And he was saying that in order to be official Australian, I thought I heard something. You got to pass the test of, what was it, 6 terms you got to know? I would fail that. Diversifying is good. It happens quite a bit. Yes. Cranberry Landers just posted a YouTube video. What is this, Cranberry? Are we able to? Oh, what is this? Random videos. One of the things Cranberry Landers has been posting is, you're on a Mighty Boosh kick, man, aren't you? He posted a link for the Mighty Boosh, that TV show. I never watched it. I've heard of it, but I never watched it. But he posted a few of those links in Discord, and I had no context, and I was like, What is this? There's another link right there if you're interested in the Mighty Boosh. I'm okay to live in ignorant bliss of whatever the 6-7 thing is. 6-7 originates from a rapper? Oh, is that where that's from? Right? Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a kid bragging. Yes, that's it. That's what I thought it was too. And then so when I've seen tons of videos of people, like one of the examples was a whole In-N-Out burgers filled with kids, high school kids, waiting for them to call out the order number 67. And they just went crazy bananas because they're all in on this viral joke. And it just didn't make any sense to me. But yes, I think it was a basketball game thing. And the kid just did some gesture, said 6-7. I don't know if he was talking about the height of the kid that was playing the game or the score. I don't know. It was really random. Never got a clean explanation on that. John told me that a while ago. Oh, interesting. So it is the name thing. John's secretive. He said that the name switch sort of doxes him. Oh, okay. That sucks. That really sucks. We love John. And why did he do that? Why did he write something that would like dox him in his name? That's like me writing my like social security number in my profile picture, which did I do that? I don't think I did that. That wouldn't be good. All right, so we got the gift memberships. Yeah, we see that. Daniel gives it. Oof, it's going to be a Kiwi baby after. Oh, darn it. I always forget the darn Kiwi baby. Thank you for reminding me. For Cranberry Langer's gift memberships, here's some Kiwi baby. I love that kid's face at the end. That gets me every time. Yeah, I love to play the Kiwi Baby video when people super chat the channel, do gift memberships, anything like that, or new memberships. I love playing the Kiwi Baby. So thank you, Cranberry Langers, for doing that. I mean, he did it 3 times. I can drop another. I'll drop another Kiwi Baby here in a second because he did it one at a time. That's pretty smart. You can get multiple Kiwi babies by doing it that way. It's close to when I normally feed my cat too. It's gonna get loud in here any second now. We'll see. We'll see how good they are. Sometimes my cats can be really, you know, they know their place, but 9 times out of 10 they don't, and they'll just start yelling at me. If I move from this chair and like stand up, they'll freak out. Why is Indiegogo IGG? I at least try to differentiate by saying Insta, yes, instead of IG for Instagram, since it's my built-in habit to use it for I guess instead. Yeah, it's so confusing. Lightning bathed in chem. Oh, that's what the Clark Kent was. Okay, thank you for the clarification, Cranberry Langers. Coming in with the comics knowledge. Perfect. That is perfect. I have been on a Mighty Boosh kick for about 13 years. Nice. Jeffrey Beat says, I'm back. I didn't know you left, but awesome. Rocky, do you want me to drop the 6-7 link here or on Discord? Either way, typical, I'm sorry, Lindsay Rose. Either way, you could do both. I'm guessing we could even watch it if we wanted to. We could watch it here. I don't think it's very long. I just don't understand it. Well, I got it right when he did it, but I left it for others to give info on that. Plus, Clark Kent referenced the Riddler's alternate. I got that. I definitely got that. My guess is that John uses his full name in the @name, but he didn't say so. He's not going to give you any more information. John is like, yeah, he's like an enigma. He's like the Holy Spirit. Just like comes in, guides you. You're like, what the? He also said sort of, so I don't know what to make of that either. Plus, his name is Clark Kent. Yes. Smart. You are a sleuth, Cranberry Langers. Wait, what if YouTube never changes it back? Is that it? We're not going to see John again? That would suck. Love John. John is forever will be my first chat name or person that showed up. John is. I don't think it does. It does have John's full name. My cat doesn't get loud for dinner. No? My cat does. You can get multiple kiwi babies that way in case you're wondering about getting more kiwi babies. It's like a facts of life kind of conversation right there. Yes, my cats do that by getting louder, which is increasingly annoying. All right, look at that. We caught up in chat. I'm going to end this with, end this. I'm going to end my catch up with the another kiwi baby for Cranberry Langers. I think, did I just see something? No, it didn't tell me, Cranberry, who those other memberships went to, which kind of stinks because, I mean, you went to the effort of doing it. But anyway, here's one more kiwi baby for you before we get into comics. Thank you, Cranberry Langers, for those gift memberships. This one's for you. There we go. Happy kiwi baby. Emo Trash says, my cat doesn't get loud, but he'll do crap that annoys me. Yeah, my cat. So my second favorite cat, as Mo Biggs mentioned earlier, I have two. My second cat, I love both of my cats, but my second favorite cat, he'll do things like he will make himself vomit. I kid you not. He will make himself vomit because it makes me go, hey, what are you doing? And then I'll have to go clean it up, and sometimes he doesn't even spit up anything, but he'll do the like cat vomiting thing to just get my attention. Sometimes, or he usually often will chew on things he's not supposed to, that he knows he's not supposed to. He will go straight for them because he knows it'll get me up out of my seat and upset at him, and then eventually feed him, I guess, is what he's thinking. He's like way too smart for his own good and really annoying. So he's the one that gives me most trouble. And then my other cat, he just yells at me when he's hungry or wants something from me or even wants to greet me. He just has a very loud voice. So if you've heard a cat on my stream before, it is probably him. And he's locked in here with me right now. So he will probably start meowing in, I'm going to guess, 10 minutes or so. I've done it a couple times or he could just not show up, which makes little sense. Yeah, that would be a bummer if John... Cranberry Langer's saying he can change his name on YouTube. Yeah, that would be a bummer if John didn't come here just because of this stupid YouTube thing. Man, that would make me so upset. Usually repeatedly jumping on the table. Yes. Or dig. Yes. Cranberry Langers wants a kiwi. Kiwis are our neighbors. That's well said there. That's right. That's a global ba-dum-bum. Nice. Especially pisses me off when he does that before 8 a.m. And that's why we have automatic feeders for our morning feeds. All right, let's get into comics, guys. That's what this is all about, actually, if that's a surprise to anyone. There was a lot of hype around this. So maybe 3 streams ago, I can't remember. This is like the big crossover event of this year. Maybe 3 streams ago, Marvel released their Deadpool Batman comic. I think it's just a one-shot, right? And then now this month or this week, DC released theirs, which is Batman Deadpool. They give their company the top billing. So it's kind of this like head-to-head of like, oh, how can we tell our stories? I feel like it's like a competition a little bit, which is kind of cool, friendly competition between the two. So if you remember, this was... All right, let me switch views here. This was the... This was the one I looked at a few streams ago, Deadpool Batman. And what they did is their main story is Batman and Deadpool. This one and this issue by Marvel was drawn by Greg Capullo, he's great, fantastic artist. And then they also had other side stories in here, but this was the main one. So this kind of crazy adventure between Batman and Deadpool, and then they had this Captain America, Wonder Woman. So a few crossovers kind of in like a anthology comic style. So yeah, we looked at this. You can go watch that on a previous stream. I wish I could give you guys the exact stream that was. I don't know it off the top of my head. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But now this is the DC one. And the notable thing about this DC one is Dan Mora is the artist on it. And Dan Mora is like one of the guys right now for DC. He's also the artist on Transformers. Just started with Robert Kirkman. Reviewed the first book that they did together last stream. I talked to a friend about this, and I kind of agree. Like, he's kind of like the Jim Lee of this generation. Like, has a very clean, appealing style, and he's just working on a lot of books. Like, I see covers by him all the time. Every time I see like, oh, Dan Moore is drawing that one, I'm like, he's drawing another thing. So I felt the same way when they announced he was doing this Batman Deadpool. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's look at it here. Greg Capullo and J. Scott Campbell, the cover artist on that variant of the Deadpool Batman, the Marvel version. Yeah, he's amazing. Greg Capullo's great. We've looked at a lot of his work before on stream. So the other thing I was going to mention with this Batman Deadpool is they had like 1,000 different variants, and they got a lot of great artists to do them. So going back to the original or an earlier part of the conversation when we were talking about comic book stores, there's certain comic book stores locally that I know carry variant covers. Loud, right? Excuse me. Let me let him out. Hang on a second. Okay. Somebody's going to feed the cats for me, so that will help. What was I saying? Oh, some stores always, or not always, but oftentimes carry variants. So Amazing Fantasy is one of the stores I frequent. The owner, Frank McGinn, great guy. Love his shop. He watches my YouTube channel. He's been a big supporter. Super awesome. He oftentimes carries variants, which are awesome. So anytime I'm looking for a particular variant, I will go to Frank's shop first part of the day because they sell out fast. And then there's another store that I like to go to called Comics Experience. And that owner, Brian, great guy, great store. He doesn't like to carry variants, and one of the reasons he was explaining it to me is like it can be hard for shops to keep up in that game, because if you're going to pick one variant, you got to order. I don't know if it's like you have to order all the variants, but once you go down that road, it's kind of expected that you carry however many variants are that release in a particular issue. And he's found it like detrimental to his business to always be playing that variant game. He thinks it's a huge marketing scheme, yada, yada. Makes sense, right? So he never carries, or I shouldn't say never, more likely 95% of the time will not carry a variant unless you special order it, which takes scheduling time, blah, 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 blah. So if I'm looking for a particular variant, I won't go to Brian's store, Comics Experience, to find it. I'll go to a different one. So I went to I happened to be going to Frank's store yesterday morning and to go get some books. And I knew Batman Deadpool was coming out. I knew there was a bunch of variants. So I was like, cool, I'll go look through the variants. And there was some cool ones. There was like a Frank Quitely one, which is, he's a great artist. I almost got that one. There was, what was the other one I saw? There was a bunch. Oh, there was a Jay Lee one. Jay Lee does amazing covers. I almost got that one. But also the catch with variant covers is they're oftentimes $1, sometimes $2 more expensive than regular cover price, which in this case, they were $1 more. So the cover price on this book, it's a little thicker than normal, is $7.99. That's really expensive for a comic book. $8, can you imagine? The variant covers, which is the same exact book, just a different cover, $8.99. $9 for a comic book. This is the day and age we live in. So I wasn't like so excited about those variant covers. So I decided, I was like, oh, actually, maybe I won't get the variant. Frank didn't have any of these cover A's available, which this is the standard cover, Dan Mora cover. And then I said, so I was going to buy the variant, and he was like, hey, do you want the regular cover? And I was like, oh yeah. And he pulled one out from behind the counter. So that's why I got this. I was like, okay, cool. Frank had the regular cover. I'm going to pay the minimum price on cover A. Awesome. I decided to go. He was missing a book that I was looking for. So I decided to go to Comics Experience to find that book. I said, I've seen this here. They'll probably have it. Went into Comics Experience. And mind you, this is the comic book store that does not carry variants. I went in, I looked at the rack. He had like all the variants, and I was like, what the heck? And he actually had a variant that Frank didn't have that I would have bought. It was cool. It was a Nick Dragotta variant. Nick Dragotta is the artist on Absolute Batman, and he did a variant for this, and it's Batman in his Nick Dragotta style, and the Punisher, kind of an homage to Mike Zeck, who is one of my favorite Punisher artists of all time. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was so tempted to buy another copy of this. Can you imagine spending, so this is $7.99. The other one's $8.99. Can you imagine spending $17 for one comic book? That is going to be fun, but it's not going to be like life-changing or like mind-blowing, I don't think. I haven't read this yet, but that's just my hunch. So at the end of the day, I did not buy the variant cover. I think I'm going to regret it because it was a really cool variant cover, and it's actually harder to find that one from what I've seen. And Nick Dragotta is a hot artist right now. But I was like, all right, just save the extra $1 for another book or something. Anyway, long story. That is where we ended up on. Here we are with the regular cover A on this. So yeah, sometimes variant covers they don't charge extra for, and I like it, but I get it. It's all the whole collector's market thing. But look at this. This is right here is the list. I can actually zoom in a little bit more here. This is the list of the variants of all the artists doing variants. Lee Bermejo, Mark Brooks, Jim Chung, Amanda Connor, Nick Dragotta, that was the one I saw, Jenny Frieson, Andy Kubert, Jay Lee, Jim Lee, Alexander Lozano, Dan Mora, Sean Murphy. That one was a cool one. Almost got that one. Frank Quitely, I saw that. Bruno Redondo, Hayden Sherman. That one was pretty cool too. Bill Sienkiewicz, Ryan Suk, Sozo Maika. Crazy, right? All these covers. And Comics Experience had every single one of them, I think. And I was like, what in the heck? I thought you guys don't carry variants. And Brian wasn't there at the time, but the guy who was working, his name's Kipling, nice guy. He was like, I don't know, because he knew similarly that Brian always poo-poos on variant covers. Okay, sorry, that was a very, very long story. Kramer Langer says, I'm not a fan of Dan's work. Really? All right. I'm a fan. I think he's awesome. I think he's super solid. And I love the fact that he is just, he's kind of meeting the moment of his success. So the first time I heard about him, he was working on like an independent book called Klaus. And then next thing I know, he's drawing like Superman and Batman, like the big, the big characters. And then, then he's on everything. And I just feel like he's taking advantage of the fact that he's super popular and then just trying to draw as fast as he can on so many things. And he's also developed a style that, like, you can tell he has this like set style. And I think that's why I compare him to Jim Lee. He has a set style of drawing characters, very appealing. But it's like a Dan Mora thing. When you look at it, you're like, oh, that's Dan Mora. So yeah, I admire him a lot. But I don't go out of my way to buy Dan Mora stuff. But I know if I am buying a Dan Mora book, it's going to have good art. So that's kind of what I feel like with this one. Whew. All right. That's cool. It's like an homage to the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Why is my phone buzzing? Everything's buzzing, meowing at me. So it's cool. Climate color essentials. Yeah, there's just something like about his proportions, his line work, his anatomy, like that is very, very appealing. Similarly, when I was really into Jim Lee's work, kind of the same thing. It's just like there's so much appeal in how he draws his characters in particular. So Dan Mora's got that same thing. It's cool. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Deadpool. I think he's a great character, hilarious. There's been some fun stories with him. I really like the Deadpool movies. I thought they're just well done and great take on like his character on the big screen. But I also know that, at least for me, I'm never gonna get a story that like changes me. When I read comics or even watch movies or TV shows or go watch a play or something, which I saw a really interesting one last night called Stereophonic. But when I go to be entertained, I love it when it leaves you like talking about it or questioning it, good and bad, or just like it stays in your mind after you experience it. And so those are the stories for me, are like my favorite stories, right? Whenever something will like change you or move you or just make you even discuss it, I love it. I've never felt that with Deadpool stories because it's always this like banter, tongue in cheek, ultra violence, funny fourth wall breaking stuff, and then it all kind of resets at the end of it. So that's what I'm expecting when I'm reading this. So I don't know. Who's the art writer? Grant Morrison. I do like Grant Morrison's writing. So yeah, maybe this will be different, but I mean, that's just kind of who Deadpool's character is. So you can't really expect him to get like super deep but that's a disturbing image. It's cool though. Really cool. Cassandra. I was just watching the behind the scenes on the Deadpool Wolverine movie, which I loved. Thought it was the best Deadpool movie. And her character Cassandra is in it. So it's probably why they're showcasing her here. But this is great. I mean, it's just solid drawing. I think Dan Mora has a little bit of like John Romita Jr. in him too, now that I look at his work. Oh, this is from like Amalgam Comics, which was like where Marvel and DC like merged ideas to create unique characters. It's great. Like every drawing just has so much appeal to it. Every expression. So it's like they're trying to tell. I mean, this is how it goes. Anytime Deadpool pairs up with another character, say like Batman or whatever, Wolverine, usually he's the comic relief, and then they try and tell the serious story with the other characters. So kind of feel like it's the same here. That's cool. Dead bat. This is Eternity and oh. They're like having a moment. These two cosmic forces from both universes. That's the combo here. I get it. Oh, all right. This was a character that was in the Deadpool Batman. His name is Logo, which is a combo of Lobo and Wolverine and Logan. So they did a short story here. It was horrible. This is in the Marvel one. It was not a good idea. All right. Oh, here's the second story here. So this is written by Scott Snyder, James Tynion, and Joshua Williamson, all great writers. Scott Snyder is on all the Absolute Batman. James Tynion's on Exquisite Corpses right now, and Joshua Williamson, he was doing G.I. Joe. So great writers. Art is Hayden Sherman, who's the artist on Absolute Wonder Woman, the regular artist there. So this is cool. This is mixing Hellblazer and Doctor Strange. Kind of cool. It's neat. Hayden Sherman's another one who he's like drawing a lot of different things and kind of killing it. So it's cool. It's cool to see these new artists. I appreciate the new artists that come in and like they're solid, they're good, they have a unique vision, and they're consistent. Just helps to keep their name in the forefront of audiences, right? So that's crazy. That's cool. I've never read Hellblazer. I always get that confused with Preacher. Hayden Sherman loves this kind of stuff where he does these funky panel layouts. He does this all the time in Absolute Wonder Woman. Oh, gosh. All right, I'll be right. I'm going to let my cat in now. So demanding. So demanding. There are comics in this show? You discuss comics and comic art? Oh, Lindsay Rose posted that 6-7. Okay, let me see if we can play that, Lindsay Rose. Let me get through this comic first, and then we'll see if we can play that. Because I just want to understand. That's all I want. Oh, wait, no, that's an ad. Oh, is this guy talking? Oh, it's a whole video about it. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll see. Okay. It's a vid about 6-7. Yes. Greg Capullo and J. Scott. Oh yeah, we already said that. I'm not a fan. All right. I'm way behind now. Lucky's stomach doesn't speak, it acts. Does Batman have electrically charged fists? When he needs them? I know Batman has all the gadgets, right? So he can do whatever the heck he kind of needs to at any given moment. He'll pull something out of his utility belt. So it's a little unfair, but it's kind of cool too for Batman. So this story is X-23. Laura Kinney, Wolverine, and Nightwing. Written by Tom Taylor and drawn by Bruno Redondo. Not familiar with either of these creators that much. I mean, I've heard of them, but I don't think I've really read much from either of them. That's interesting, though, to pair up Nightwing and Laura Kinney, Wolverine. Yeah. Oh, that's right. She's got that claw in her foot. That's her thing. And she's not really Wolverine because she's only got 2 claws, not 3. One of them grew out of her foot. I don't know. Oh, I see. They're just kind of mirroring their mentors of Batman and Wolverine with Laura Kinney and Nightwing. Got it. Okay. This is Amanda Connor. She drew a whole slew of Harley Quinn stories. She's actually she's a great artist. And didn't she do an issue of, I think she was one of the artists on Batman, The Long Halloween, Last Halloween? Yeah, she's great. She's super solid. She is married to Jimmy Palmiotti, who was a big-time inker artist and now writer for comics. He's always promoting her work on his social media channels. So yeah, they paired up Harlequin and Hulk. That's an odd pairing, but sure. Yeah, she always has this comedic kind of stuff in her work too. And then this last story, it's Dennis Cohen, legend, with Miss Marvel and Static Shock. Not a huge fan of either of those characters. Okay, there you go. Batman, Deadpool, #1. The other, so I think that's it. Like, I think it was just these two guys, Marvel's before and now DC's. I don't think they're doing any more with it, but it was cool. I mean, it's always kind of cool to have these crossover moments. Batman and Robin Year 1. This one finished up. I just posted a review on Fourth Wall. It's free. You don't have to subscribe to see it, but I'm doing some like comic book reviews there where I rank certain things I liked about the book and just a little summary of what I like. And one of them was the final issue of Batman and Robin Year 1. So go check that out. The link is in the description. Just posted that today. I ordered the variant cover with Batman and Wolverine as drawn by Jim Lee. Nice. Are we getting crazy with variant covers? Always. I'm not. It'll take a lot for me to either pay extra money or try and hunt down a variant cover. And oftentimes I do like the original cover a lot. Usually. Just something about it's like, oh, it's the cover that was intended for this book as opposed to just a rando doing a variant. But every now and then there'll be some standout variant covers. I've gone after Jay Lee variant covers before, Quite Lee's variant covers. And in particular, I would have gotten that Nick Dragotta one for Batman Deadpool, but I found it too late. If you go back for it tomorrow, kind of can't believe I'm recommending it because I'm kind of cheap. I'm not going back for it. I've decided. I said, okay, I won't spend this extra $1 on this variant, and I will use it towards this other purchase. So I'm still getting comics. I'm just getting a different one, as opposed to that's what bites, having 2 of the same comic just for the cover. That's where I'm like, oh, not. It would take a lot for me to do something like that. Great roster of artists, Cranberry Ranger says. Nice. Yeah, zoomies for the cats. Absolutely. He jumped up into the chair he always does before he attempts the table. Can still wait another 35. That's amazing. Once my cats start annoying, there's no stop. Who is turning Batman into a pin cushion? Is that him on the interiors? Yes, Dan Mora. That he did that story, that first story. He's good. I don't like his faces as much. He's solid though. I don't like the cover though. Yeah, I mean this cover is not like super dynamic or inspired. It's still cool. Yeah, that's cool. I like his faces. I actually think that's a big part of his art that I really do like is his faces and expression. They just have a lot of appeal and they're consistent. I was a fan of Amalgam Comics. I wasn't. I thought they made the craziest mixes. It felt like they just took two characters and put them in a blender, like without any thought. Even like the costumes, the stories. I was like, Was that Robin still in booty shorts? Yes. That's the best Robin, Emo Trash. What are you talking about? This one? Oh, maybe he's not. I think he's wearing boots. No, he's in leggings, and then he's got these like combat boots. It's not booty short. It's not elven, frisky Robin. Ooh, what play? Lindsay Rose says it was called Stereophonic. So, it's not a musical, but it's like a touring Broadway show kind of thing. It won a lot of Tony Awards, got nominated and won quite a number of Tony Awards for a play. And the story pretty much is... It was so interesting. It was one of those things where it wasn't like, oh my gosh, that was the most amazing thing. Although there were really great aspects of it. But it was a story that I took my daughter to go watch it with me. And it was a story that like we couldn't stop talking about afterwards because we're like, that was so different. So if I could describe it, it's kind of like it takes place in the late 70s in Northern California. So there was like a lot of familiar locations they were talking about. And it pretty much all takes place in a sound recording studio following this band that is just becoming huge. And you're watching them play their instruments and sing their songs and kind of go through the whole like music making process. But the way they stage it, there's this like inside the booth and outside the booth world. And it was really inventive, really cool, great sets, great sound design, great lighting. But it wasn't like a very like linear plot necessarily. I mean, it was, but it's just this slice of life of like how crazy it was to be a band at that time. So contemporaries would be like the Eagles, Hall & Oates, like these kind of core rock and roll bands in the late 70s. And, there was a lot of like cocaine was a part of it, like alcoholism was a part of it. And the heart story, the core story of it was the pain of being in a relationship as a band and as also like individual relationships in the band was what kept them together and also tore them apart. And I think that's very common to the music making experience. It's that like tortured artist and you're influenced by like drugs and alcohol, sex, drugs and rock and roll, you know what I mean? And they just had so much like conflict and tension, but they loved each other and they hated each other. And you saw them progress during time. So it was super fascinating. Again, not one that I'm like, oh, that was the most amazing thing. But it was like, whoa, they made this into a play? Like, who had that idea? Like, who pitched that idea? And, apparently it's doing really well. So that is what we watched. Next comic, please. Only play I've seen is Phantom. That's a good one. That's actually coming back here to the Bay Area. Phantom is solid. It's a good one. Harley Quinn and Hulk sounds like an interesting mix. It's all right. Why didn't you mute it when you were letting the cat in? It's 15 minutes long. The video, yeah, it's pretty long. I'm here for the cat noises and shenanigans. No worries, no need to play it out. Does Wolverine have black lipstick? The Laura Kinney one? Yes, I think she does. Adam's here. What's up, Adam?
This is Adam.
Hey.
It's been years since I bought anything from the big two. Channel member, Adam. But last week I bought Batman Annual from DWJ and Captain America versus Alien from Marvel. Nice. How did you like the Batman Annual? That one was controversial. We talked about it on stream. Actually had a really good conversation, I thought, about it. Some differing opinions. It struck up a fire on social media when it came out. But the DWJ artwork in it is amazing. So yeah, what did you think about it? I know you're a big fan of Dana Warren Johnson, Adam. Captain America versus Alien. That one did look kind of cool, but it's not really my cup of tea. Batman does have gauntlets with electrical charges like brass knuckles. Yes. Cranberry Landers likes her work. I'm assuming you're saying Amanda Connor. Expressions are good. I don't like the jaw lines. Wow, that's very specific. Leggings and combat boots are acceptable. Thank you for dressing your child, Bruce. Do it, Lindsay Rose. Yeah, it was really, really fascinating. And they even have an album that they came out with it. And I believe he was the lead singer of the band Arcade Fire, wrote the music, wrote the songs. I think the composer was for that movie Her by Spike Jonze, which was a really interesting film as well. Had very interesting kind of ambient music. So yeah, it was just a weird mixture, but very, very interesting. I can't go for half an oats. I can't go for no can do I. Nice, Cranberry Landers. That was an awesome reference. I'm reading Exquisite Corpse through a mate. I like it a lot. Me too. Here we are, issue 7. I love it. It is I've mentioned this a number of times on this stream. I am not a huge horror genre fan in general, even less so horror comics. However, some of my favorite books right now that are coming out are horror books, which is Exquisite Corpses is one of them. And then the other one is Hyde Street from the Ghost Machine crew. So both are really well written, and Exquisite Corpses has been... I didn't think I'd actually last this long. I thought I would maybe get the first 2 issues and then be done with it after the gimmick kind of died down. But man, has it been super engaging, and it's like watching... I don't say it's like watching a train wreck, but there's almost this sick, guilty pleasure of watching it because it's kind of brutal, and it's a competition between, I believe it's 13 elite families in America, fictional families that hire serial killers to represent their family. They're each assigned randomly a weapon of choice, and then they pit these serial killers against each other. Whoever's serial killer representative wins the bracket, and ultimately the competition. That family gets to be the shadow government family that controls the world or the country. So it's all this conspiracy kind of behind the scenes playing into that genre, but told through battling it out with serial killers. So I think the sick fantasy is man, who doesn't love seeing Freddy Krueger fight Jason from Friday the 13th, you know what I mean? Or even the Alien versus Predator movies. When you see the ultimate villains fighting each other, there's something very satisfying about it. And that's kind of what taps into my love of Exquisite Corpses. And the characters are all they're just twisted, but they have really cool motivations. So you have that. You have so those are some characters you're following. It's like the serial killers themselves and their motivations of doing it. Then you have the families. There's these dynamics and competition going on between the families. Really cool. And then you also have the like innocent bystanders who are trapped in this town that this is all taking place in. They have their own motivations and they're like trying to figure out like what the heck's happening. People are dying left and right. It's during Halloween, which is a perfect season for something like this happening. And they're pretty much just locked in this radius of this town. They can't get out. So it's awesome. It's really good. Like you can see this being a movie for sure. Just the way that it's written and all the character stories going on. And the artwork's been great. It's like, it's not flashy, superhero art, but it's told really well and very scary. So I've been enjoying it a lot. I love the colors in it too. Jordi Belair is the colorist. She does a knockout job of picking very disturbing color combinations. Great stuff. Like these colors are awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's like it's scary. It is a scary book to read. It's like they play up all those tropes of somebody running away from being chased, or somebody hiding in plain sight, or like one of the characters was this psycho nurse character that pretended to help people, but then in the end of the day you could see he was like killing them. There's a dynamic in here. There's a competition within the competition where the serial killer that gets the most kills also wins something. So they're like gunning to do the most, murders. It's crazy. It's a really crazy book, but it's very well done. This is one of the crazy serial killers here. These two are battling out. And then the neat thing too, at the end, I believe that they are building out this as like a game too. I don't know if it's going to be a card game or what, but they've been promoting it at the end of each issue that next year, 2026, the game is coming out. So it does have that like Hunger Games bracket sports kind of feel to it. Which is awesome. It's a great way of building an IP. So usually they have the bracket here, but for some odd reason they like staticked it out. I don't know without reading the book why they did that, but that's kind of creepy and kind of cool. But yeah, usually at the end of each book they'll show the bracket of who won and then who's going on to the next round. This concept, Exquisite Corpses, came out before the DCKO, which is also kind of a bracket competition. So yeah, they did it first here. There it is. This is the advertisement for the game. Start collecting your killers now. I still have yet to get a blind bag of this comic. They also release blind bags with Exquisite Corpses, and I believe they come with trading cards. I want to grab one of these days, but I haven't had the chance, and only, again, certain stores in town carry those blind bags. So yeah, I have to really hunt that out. At least for one of the issues, I'd love to see what's inside the blind bag. So here we go. Exquisite Corpses number 7. Pretty cool. This character is one of the killers, and he's like a psycho kid that plays video games, and he has a little drone that goes around and kills with him. It's awesome. So cool. You'd probably like Hack and Slash, Rocky. The only Hack and Slash I read was that crossover with Body Bags, and it was okay. Yeah, there's something about the writing on this. James Tynion's good. He's a good writer. And the way that he crafts his characters, it's just like so perfect for the horror genre. Yeah, Hack and Slash was okay. I wasn't that into the characters or the writing. The Fox will win, right? I don't know, but he's one of the cooler looking, or she? I don't know if it's he or she, is one of the cooler looking serial killers. What kind of Hunger Games stuff are you talking about? Like the movie Hunger Games. It's Hunger Games, but somehow worse. Like scary, or worse as in not done well. It's great. It's really good. It needs a twist to the story to make it great. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of twists actually that have happened so far, at least. So, yeah, I'm just waiting to see how they're going to end this. And then are they going to do another season like with the families again the next year, which I can see happening. It's definitely set up that way. So yeah, we'll see. It's been popular though. From what I've heard, a lot of people are giving it great reviews and it's selling well in the bookstores. So yeah, we'll see. I think having a game too might boost it to a different level. Suspense page. Yeah, Nemesis is also like that a little bit. That kind of sick serial killer mentality gives you a little insight on that. I'm a little over blind bags, Jason says. Unhinged. Everyone is doing them and it's a pure gimmick. It's a total gimmick. The blind bags are like... Blind bags, I'd say, are a gimmick. And red band editions are totally a gimmick right now. But it's the equivalent of like the chromium covers that we had in the 90s. Man, you want to talk about gimmicks. There are so many gimmicks from the 90s in comics, which you look back on now are just like, what were we doing? And some of them were horrible. Fox is a woman. Okay, yeah, cool. This is a cool character, cool costume. As in scary worse. It is, yes. It is. I was about to say morally worse, but I don't know. Kind of hard to top. Yeah, that's right. It is kind of messed up. Never seen the movies, though. I've only read the first book. I haven't read the book, but I did watch the movies. And yeah, when I was first watching the first one, I was like, this is kind of like Twilight. Like it just had this cheese factor. But then it went dark really fast. And I was like, okay, like I guess we're doing this. And then if I remember correctly, I watched them so long ago. The other, was there 2 movies? 2 or 3 movies? Were decent too. So yeah. Holographic covers, Michael Bancroft.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Those were pretty ridiculous. And they were way more expensive too. It's cool. I don't know. It's cool. Sometimes it works for me. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's cool. Yeah, even one of the variant covers that Comics Experience carried, which again, this is a store that it makes it a very clear rule. They don't carry variant covers. He even had the freaking chromium cover of Batman Deadpool. I was like, what? What are you doing, man? It's totally just went against the grain. Or, went against his word, I guess. I can choose to buy a chromium cover. I don't know what I'm getting with the blind bag, so I'd rather just buy the book I want. Yeah, I guess it depends on how they do the blind bag. I know like some of the blind bags are truly like like you're saying, you don't know what cover you're getting. There's an excitement to it. It's like blind box trading cards or blind box toys. There's a little bit of an excitement to it. That's the whole collector's thing. But if you're gunning for a certain cover, then yeah, it would be cool to just be able to purchase it that way. I want a good holographic cover though. Which is my favorite character? Ooh, in Exquisite Corpses? I like the Fox character's design. I don't know if it's my favorite character like backstory. And maybe it's because I haven't read... I'm a couple issues behind, actually. I mean, I haven't read this one, and I haven't read the one before that. So I don't know if they dove deeper into Fox. That's a good question. I really like the Lone Gunman. I mean, I know he hasn't been seen a lot, but he's really mysterious, and they set him up well at the beginning. It was like the first 1 or 2 issues. he was reluctant to even join this competition. He didn't have any reason to, and he's tied to the main gal of the behind the scenes families. So he's going to be a core important piece. Yeah, I don't know. All the other ones were kind of despicable and gross. So I didn't really have a favorite. Yeah, I think probably Fox's design, Lone Gunman, is probably my favorite. Table jump number 2, 5 minutes more for the cat and they're going to explode. Those metal foil covers, I still want those Spider-Man ones. Yes, I'm blind enough as it is. Wow. The ultimate ba-dum-dum for this channel today, for the chat today. There you go, Unhinged Entertainment. Blind bags insulting to a man of his stature. Good day, Prime Minister Bangers. Can we give Rocky an Australian test to offer? No, I will fail that test. It'll be horrible. I saw that one coming, and no, this is also a pun. It was for me. Table Jump 3. Okay, I picked this up at a bookstore. This is kind of cool. Aaron Lopresti is part of the Comicsgate movement. I never picked up this book when he was advertising it, and to be honest, it's not really like, didn't appeal to me necessarily. I think he's a great artist. He's a seasoned veteran in Marvel and DC. But it was cool that I saw this at a bookstore. You know, I didn't buy it online. I saw it at a bookstore. So awesome to be able to just pick it up and see. I do like this character, Wraith. Very pulpy, cool design. It's like mysterious. It reminds me of like the original Ghost Rider, not the one on the motorcycle, but the one on the horse, but reverse. He's all in black. I'm not huge into like monster stories necessarily. I say this, I'm not into horror, and yet I'm just like raving about a horror book. And now I'm like, I'm not really into monster stories, and then I'm like buying this book. But anyway, it was great to like be able to pick this up and check it out because I hadn't seen any of it. But it's cool. It's really cool to kind of flip through it here. That's awesome. He's a cool design. Really cool design. It's great. Lycanthrope, werewolf. I know Lopresti's a big kind of him, and is it Graham Nolan? I know. Shant obviously is, my friend Shantan Jetty is a huge like horror monster, universal horror monster fan. So he's kind of commiserated that with these guys. But I think Graham Nolan and Lopresti both are really into that. So of course he would include a werewolf in his story. Sweet, that's great that it's in comic book stores. It was actually in a regular bookstore, if you can believe that. That was awesome. Yeah. I was like, wow. Like somebody must have bought it. I don't know if they sold it to the store or somebody at the store bought it, but it's kind of cool because it's a purely crowdfunded book. So the awesome thing about independent comic book artists and, specifically artists who have done this for a living, like Aaron Lopresti, the quality level of their books are, could be right up there next to other comic books. So that's awesome. I do love me some like indie book look and feel for sure. But it's awesome also to see that like you can independently produce something and have it be high quality, look like it belongs on next to a Marvel book or a DC book. Yeah, he's a cool character, this Wraith. I mean, anytime you put somebody in all in black, it's a great like graphic element. So yeah, it seems like it's just playing up that like Western pulp werewolves and mixing it in some werewolves and stuff. Come and get it, boy. And I think he's done, this is volume 1. I think he's done, I want to say he's on volume 3 now. I don't know. There's so much stuff out there. It's hard for me to follow everything. But yeah, I think he's done multiple volumes of The Wraith of God. It's cool. Solid artwork. I'm curious to read his writing and how the story flows. But as far as, artwork, Lopresti knows what he is doing. And he does some cool stuff. It ain't easy to draw werewolves, too. I know that listening to Sean talk about it, too. Whoa, she-wolf. Cool. This is a decent sized story. That's cool. This is a Dale Keown. That's awesome. Dale Keown drawing, black and white drawing of the werewolf. That's rad. Keown's good, man. Isn't this another character by him? Cool. That's it, Garbage Man. The Lopresti-verse. Nice. Yeah, Aaron Lopresti, he has a YouTube channel. I've watched it every now and then. He does some great stuff where he like goes over, hopefully I'm not getting this confused with some of the other guys, where he goes over like stuff that he loves, stuff from the past, and then his own campaigns too. So check him out, Aaron Lopresti. Cool. Wraith of God, #1. I can't wait to dig into this. It's always great to see creators who, they've had a great run on characters that we all know, but it's nice to see somebody try and do their own character and be consistent about it too. It's really cool. So I'm excited to like dive into that. Wraith of God, when strikes the wolf. Lindsay Rose likes the art in this one. Good bloke Aaron Lopresti is from Wagga. What? Is he Australian? Really? No. Is he? Was he born in Australia? Because I've seen interviews with him and he seems pretty American. Wait. Let me look. Oh, it doesn't say. No, he's born in Portland, Oregon. He's not from Wagga. Are you getting confused with somebody? New 52 Animal Man is a great horror, non-horror monster. Who is the one? Is it Oh yeah, Cranberry Landers is the one. You've told me about Animal Man before. Yeah, I gotta find that. I can't find that one. I was looking in the library and I can't find that one. At least the first compilation of that one to read. I bet the corpse games will be taken down in the story. We'll see. But I think if they want to keep it going, like if it's popular enough and they want to keep the engine rolling, they'll just like restart it with a whole new set of characters, I believe. Michael Bancroft says, I really enjoyed this one. Looking forward to reading #2 and #3. Kit Carter was brilliant. Kit Carter, that was right. That's another story that Lopresti did. It's like a sci-fi thing, right? I'm so out of the loop with some of these guys. There's just so much being produced that I lose track. Yes, a bookstore. I do like the art in this one. These are cool colors too. I should crack mine open to see if I can steal anything. Nice. That's right. That's right. Who's the colorist on this? Oh, colors by Gabe El Taib. Okay. Yeah. I will say the colors feel a little... They definitely feel like a superhero book, the colors do, and I kind of want it to feel a little bit more western-y. It's good, though. Like, that's cool. Yeah. Aaron Lopresti is a tenured industry professional in comics. I'm also a fan of his art. Yes. I might have seen him on CG. Yeah, probably. I mean, he's part of that crew. He's been there since, for a long time with all those guys, veteran artists that kind of joined that group. 0.5 because he jumped on the chair. I've caught maybe 2 CG draw streams, Lindsay Rose says. Nice. Aaron Lopresti does streams where he'll do genre draw streams that get voted on in polls. He'll also do characters. Cool. Yeah, he's awesome. He is American. Must be another Aaron Lopresti. That's amazing that there's 2 Aaron Loprestis out there. That's not a common combination of names. I'll tell Aaron he has someone with the same name. Aaron. Aaron. You guys remember that skit from Key and Peele? Cat has been fed. Now give it maybe 15 minutes. Nice. Maybe there's just one Aaron Lopresti per country. Oh, it's Gabe's colors make sense, Cranberry Ranger says. Nice. Kit Carter is a sci-fi book of his. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. You guys all seem to know Lopresti's work. All right, here is the Paul Pope book I just picked up. THB, which was Paul Pope's. So Paul Pope is an American artist. He's not from Wagga. He is a New York artist and amazing. Some of the most incredible stuff he's done. He did a book called Battling Boy, which I believe got optioned as a movie. He did THB was his big thing to kind of land on in the comic scene. And he started off as an independent comic artist. And then he did an incredible run or an incredible version of Batman called Batman 100. Is that right? I think it was called Batman 100. It was like a mini series that he did. And then he's done like filler issues. He's done one shots of Batman. He's done a lot of one shot issues or anthology stuff. And his Batman's awesome. I actually have a one of my statues that I have is of his artwork, his Batman. This was a statue that was based off of a Batman he did. It's really cool. And the thing that I love, so Paul Pope as an artist, what he did was he studied in Japan for a while. I believe he worked for a Japanese comic company. And he's like an American, like gringo working in Japan, which was not easy to crack. But he picked up so much techniques from working in Japan and injected in his work. And then he also has like a strong European influence that comes out in his work, his line work and stuff like that. This was another book that he did called Heavy Liquid, which is great. It's awesome. He's got such a dynamic brushwork to his art. And just, a very, very unique voice in comics. And I likened him to a little bit like he's like he looks like Jim Morrison actually, but kind of like the Jim Morrison. I've heard him being described as the Jim Morrison of comics. It's like a little bit of like rock and roll, rebellion, not your typical genre guy. And so this is Heavy Liquid. Actually, I should get Battling Boy too. This is a book he did called Battling Boy, which is awesome. It's kind of like Gods meets sci-fi. It's awesome. He just does crazy stuff. It's like really free-flowing. And then he's also made a great career of doing some fashion illustrations. He's just like this all-around like art, like New York artist. Just kind of exudes from his work. So THB was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the first work of his that really caught people's attention. And it's been released in different formats. There was a book that I did a flip through. When I first started my channel, I did like flip throughs of comics. And one of them was Paul Pope thing. Where is that? This is kind of how THB came out before. So it was like this magazine, again, rock and roll, Jim Morrison, like very non-conventional stuff. But I found this, I forgot where I got this, but it's just cool because it's not magazine. I mean, it's not comic book format. It's like a magazine. Then he had this like commentary, like editorial commentary. It was cool, crazy. This is how I was originally exposed to THB. But they just now compiled this company called First Second, isn't it First Second Books? Oh no, 23rd Street Books. Really? I thought it was with First Second. Oh, First Second is one of the publishers here. And I guess they partnered up with 20. That's confusing. First, Second, 2, 3. How confusing is that? So anyway, they put together this compilation of his THB stuff. So you see his early work, and then you see it kind of progress. I love that they put it together in this compilation because to find his original THB stuff is not that easy. Didn't have a huge print run necessarily. It was kind of this cultish underground stuff. So this is the first time that I've seen it. I've never read THB like all the way through. I've just seen bits and pieces and experienced bits and pieces here and there. So this is kind of cool to see it all in one compilation. It's all black and white, and some of his work actually reminds me of Daniel Warren Johnson, or some of Daniel Warren Johnson's work reminds me of him. Again, it's that like Japanese meets Western influence amalgamation. So this is crazy. These early things, like seeing this ink wash, this is not really how he does art now. This feels so indie. But you can see hints of where his artwork was going. I guess they said this is 30 years ago. So what? We're in 2025. So 1995? Yeah, this is so indie. I was like, really bizarre stuff. But then he takes it up a notch and it goes into this sci-fi universe. You can start seeing it here with these designs. And he starts going on heavy with the brush ink work, which is where Paul Pope really sings once you get him inking with a brush. So it's kind of cool. You start seeing those washes like disappear a little bit, and he's just going full hard with the brushwork. And then the other thing that Paul Pope does cool, I don't know if we'll see examples in here, maybe in the later issues, is he letters his own stuff, like hand letters his own like sound effects and all that. Wow, this is bizarre. Look at this. I remember seeing these images in particular. I remember seeing these as a kid when Paul Pope was just starting up and they were all talking about this guy. Ooh, Paul Pope. I'm like, this is wild. But there's just so much, I think because he inks with a brush and the way that he inks with the brush, there's just so much energy in his stuff. It's almost like a painter a little bit. But check it out. Look how he's doing like these different lettering, hand lettering. And it's affected by, like, this is the piano talking, but his lettering is affected by that. That's cool. I love it when the artist and the letterer are one person and it's like a unified vision. It's great. Aaron, that's right. Red Rocket 7 by Pope is good as well. Red Rocket 7 is by Mike Allred. Or did he do a Red Rocket 7 story? Art and Times J. Ryan, good seeing you, man.
It's actually a really good sculpt.
Red Rocket 7 is Mike Allred's character, but I don't know if Paul Pope did a short story or something with it. His initials are PP. Yes. Seriously, not from Waga with those initials. Paul Pope is great. Unhinged Entertainment says, awesome. I know that one. Battling Boy. Yes. Wait, I'm wrong. Rocket. Yes. Mike Allred. You're right. I mean, you're right now. That boy would be a swastika if he was just slightly repositioned. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I'll give you a quick. Pope and Allred fit in the same space in my mind. LOL. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, especially with that character Red Rocket 7, because Red Rocket 7 is kind of rock and roll, long hair. I would say Mike Allred, creator of Madman, Madman the character, not Mad Men, the TV series, is a lot cleaner than Paul Pope. Like his finishing line is way cleaner, and Paul Pope is just more expressive. He's just got this like looseness about him that I totally admire, and he just attacks the page with a not caring. It's just like, but he's a master, you know, like he's really good. Like you're starting to see it here. I think they're saying they're doing 3 volumes of THB. So you'll see his artwork become even more and more current. This is the early on beginnings of Paul Pope. Wow, that's cool. Vertical page. Another vertical page. Wow, is this whole issue vertical? Yeah. He always has this crazy sense of design. Not just in his layouts, but like his characters. I've always found it so fascinating. You can't really put your finger on it. Like, oh yeah, he's influenced by Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or whatever. It's just like that. Like, where does that even come from? It's cool. It's so simple, but it's really, really cool. It's cool design. And then he does these like amorphous abstractions. I saw a comment in there. THB sounds great. Pardon my ignorance. THB stands for... I'm embarrassed to say. Velo City. Okay, it is in Velo City that we find H.R. Watson, the sheltered daughter of a wealthy industrialist, and T.H.B., her loyal but enigmatic bodyguard, who can expand from a tiny rubber ball to a 9-foot-tall humanoid with just a splash of water. That's very Japanese, that kind of description of a story. To H.R., THB is a novelty, a strange new toy of dubious value, but when she finds herself in the crosshairs of her father's enemies, H.R. will quickly discover the true extent of THB's power. Let's see. Let's ask the internet. What does THB stand for? Paul Pope. In context of Paul Pope's work, THB stands for the protector molecule in his comic book series. The molecule transforms into a giant super mech when activated with water to help to protect. Oh, here it is. Its name stands for trihydrobioxygenate, a fictional molecule created by Pope. There you go. Pretty cool. What's up, K-pop? Sup? Oh, wait, that's the wrong clip.
Take a cup of tea.
Sorry, that's the wrong clip. I pressed the wrong Katie there. How are you doing, K-pop? I love this. I'm going to check this out. My wife and my wallet hates you. To add fuel to the fire, Jeffrey Beats, they actually have a couple art books that he just released as well called Pulp Hope. And the first one was okay. I didn't buy it. The first one was printed on I felt like it was a bad printing decision. The production value that they printed the first one. The second one is much better. I also haven't bought that one yet. But if you're into his artwork, just take a flip through those if you can find them, because they do scans of like some of his originals and also some of his advertising work, and that's really cool to see. Like, he's a great, not just black and white, does some great color work too. But yeah, this is it's a very Japanesey kind of concept, but it's like still influenced by superheroes. It's not just like weird independent ideas. It's influenced by superheroes, by sci-fi. I think that's what makes it appealing for me, at least. That's cool stuff here, right going on. This like hand poking the rubbery face. And a lot of his faces, they just have this look. It almost kind of, if you look at Paul Pope's face and you look at his artwork, it kind of looks like him, which is awesome. Similar to Mike Allred, we were just talking about that artist. Like, his characters look like him and his wife. I guess you just draw what you know, It's cool. I love this format. It's cool. I read a really interesting chapter of, there's Paul Pope right there. And again, he's in that clip that I played at the beginning of my my stream of him talking about comic book art. Totally looks like Jim Morrison, doesn't he? The chapter I read in the Frank Miller, Will Eisner interview book that I showed that on stream maybe about a month or two ago. It's such a good book, and it's a great conversation that they had, Eisner and Miller, about the format of comics and the size of comics and how much they both hated it. And I believe Miller was even saying, like, was it Miller or Eisner? Was saying that like that format just came because it was like newspaper folded in half at the time. It was like whatever, that printing thing, and that all of comics, mainstream comics, that's just the size that they draw at now. And he's like, why? That was a publishing, printing decision done way in the past. That doesn't have to be, there's no reason for us to stay at that dimensions now, because printing has changed and, we consume our media differently. So he's like, that's why I'd say from like 300 onward, Frank Miller started doing a lot of like landscape format stuff. So like 300, Xerxes, Holy Terror, even the Ronin book that he did like really reads well in the landscape format. And he was saying how it's a much more pleasing layout for people to consume comic art versus the comic book, the standard comic book size, whatever the dimensions are. This is more for like reading a book. And he said artwork should be more like landscape, is it? Or just different formats according to whatever story you're telling, which makes a lot of sense, right? But he said we're just stuck in this mold now because that's just the way we've done it all this time, and he really hates that. So super fascinating conversation. And my point being, it's cool to see THB produced at a more magazine format, right? Lets the artwork breathe a little bit more, can do more panels on the page like this, tell stories in a different way. It's cool. Really cool. So yeah, this is out. They're producing 2 more of these volumes, but this is the first one just became available there, and I saw it on the rack and I was like, this is where my non-variant cover dollar that I didn't spend on a variant cover, it went into purchasing this book. So there you go. THB Volume 1 by Paul Pope. Really cool. Check it out. Okay, where am I? A little lost here. Okay, 2 more things. So these are things that I got from the library. Never seen an angry piano before. Am I still myself? It doesn't say Lindsay Rose. It says typical green. So maybe that's it. Try Hydro by. Thank you, Cranberry Langers. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Cran to change my username. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. Totally Hot Babes is what THB. That's cool. That could be a whole nother book right there. I'm not going to even read that next comment. Hard times. You are going off the rails here. So a type of robot. Yes, it's like a robot made out of this like rubbery molecule that allows it to like shape change. And tickling her Nelly. Belly. Thank you. Unstable molecules. Yes. PP is good. That cover is ace. Yeah, great cover. I like All Red too. Isn't that Fool's Cap size? I've heard this discussion before. Manga is a size made to fit in your hand. Yes. And that's probably, I mean, you're seeing Marvel and DC do it now with their like digest formats. They're trying to match that manga dimensions, and that I think part of it is because they just want to regain some of the market, but part of it I think is just the convenience of walking around with a little thing like that, as opposed to a floppy. It's like you can't pull out a floppy on the train without it getting ruined, and like if you have a bag and a board, all that stuff. But if you have one of those digest books, you can pop that in your bag, your purse, whatever you carry around. It's great. That's our culture. That's how culture exists. He's not limited, and neither are creators, based on the fact that he can and has produced comics not in the Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think he was just saying that that's what's mainstream, and therefore it's not like Dan Mora can say, hey guys, I want to produce the Batman comic that you've hired me to do. Yes, I'll do it, but I want to produce it in a landscape format. It's like their whole pipeline is built on this antiquated model, I guess, is Frank Miller's argument. And so you're pigeonholing all the artists to think that way, when as a medium, you can do whatever you want with comics. So maybe that's where the independent market comes in more, and you can, but when you think about it, this is the last thing I'll say about it. Distillery, that comic, they are producing like magazine format books. And one of the complaints I've heard from comic book store owners in particular, and it affects their sales, is that people aren't buying it because it's a different format than comics, than the standard comic. So that turns people off. One, like, how do they store it at home with their other comics? It doesn't fit in the comic book box, doesn't fit in the standard bag and board, yada, 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 all the excuses. And so that turns off a customer. And so if you're already making, putting one hurdle in front of them before they even get to the artwork or the story, then you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. So it's a little bit going against the tide, I guess. But Frank Miller's just going to do whatever the heck Frank Miller wants to do. So going off the rails, that's just typical Jay and typical emo. A jelly robot, like the lime jello. That's right. It just needs to be green. They're more condensed as well. Yes. Speaking of complaints, who's back? We'll give you another one of
Better
these.
known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
Art and Times J. Ryan says, I prefer larger format books like French BDs. There you go. You know, that's a good segue into this book too. Yeah, French BDs are great. They show off the artwork more. And that's the standard, or more of the standard format in Europe. And so, to your point, those artists who are training towards that pipeline, you know, their artwork kind of breathes a little bit more and can push the limits of the kind of artwork, the kind of stories that they do, and as opposed to this more confined American comic. But I love floppies, so I don't know. I like it all. So this book is one I found in the library. Funny enough, a long time ago, at the beginning of my YouTube channel, which is coming up on 2 years now, guys. That is crazy to even think about. One of the books one of the first live streams I did was about books I had just come back from a trip from Paris, and I had a whole stack of bande dessinée that I brought back. And I flipped through many of them on stream. That was the very first live stream I did. And was this one of them? No, not Dante's Inferno, but this book was I believe this book was one of them. But this is what I got this in France, so I believe this book was one of them. Same guys, same artist, Paul and Gaetan Brizzi, the Brizzi brothers. These guys worked in animation. That's how I first knew about their stuff. Phenomenal artists. And they are they, wait. Oh, they were born and raised in Paris. I had no idea. I thought they were Dutch or something like that. So, Parisian artists, incredible. And the work that they did, if you saw Fantasia 2000, they worked on the Phoenix bird sequence, which was just like coming out of the flames and the smoke. Incredible hand-drawn animation. Beautiful stuff. Those guys directed that sequence and I think animated a lot of it themselves. So this was one book that I found in Paris at a used bookstore. And it's the story of Don Quixote, but it's drawn by the Brizzi brothers. So they've got this amazing, sketchy, illustrative style. These fantastic expressions. Unfortunately, this is all in French, but then look at this rendering on these backgrounds. Unbelievable. Like, they have such great tone work values in their awesome pencil work. Beautiful stuff, right? So this is great. This was in my collection. Oh, look at this color work. So amazing. They love the pencil line. You know, we were just talking about Paul Pope's ink line. These guys love the pencil line. I think they just build up their drawings with colored pencil, pastels, maybe even. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And because they worked in animation, man, their command of acting, staging is beautiful. So I found this at my local library. I guess they did Dante's Inferno too, which is unbelievable. Look at this imagery. My goodness. So much depth to this drawing. The crazy thing is, you look at this drawing, I don't even know if the camera does it justice, but you look at this drawing and it is just a piece of paper, guys. But the amount of depth and scale and like just atmosphere that they're creating on a piece of paper, like same kind of piece of paper I could use, but I could never create this imagery, is just out of this world. So anyway, I had no idea. I just saw it on the shelves and I was like, whoa, they did the Dante's Inferno. So I thought it would be really cool to look through here. And Dante's Inferno is pretty dark. But this is crazy. It reminds me of Albrecht Dürer's work. Did these great atmospheric paintings, etchings. Look at their pencil quality. There's also a concept artist and an illustrator by the name of Carter Goodrich. He's done concept art on pretty much every single animated feature that was successful. Carter Goodrich was hired to draw, but it kind of reminds me of his stuff, his pencil work. Beautiful. It's great. I would love to see how big, or know how big these images are, because they feel like they're massively huge by the amount of detail and shading that's gone into it. It's so constricting and there's no freedom. Lindsay Rose says it is impressive. Yes. K-pop Chunky says, nice. Dante's Inferno gives me an idea for a new master study. I'm just... yeah, right. That's great. Wow, I love how, like, atmospheric that feels. Yeah, their sense of value and lighting, my gosh. That is not easy. Beautiful. It's interesting too. One of the conversations in this Frank Miller book, I highly recommend that interview book, because it's not just like, oh, it's cool, it's Frank Miller and Will Eisner, which is already enough to sell me. But they have so many great conversations about comics and the art of comics, and again, like the formatting of the page. One of the things they talk about are word bubbles, whether or not they appreciate them, if they believe in them. There was a phase that both of them went through where they just said, screw the word bubbles, we're just writing out the text. So it's similar to this. There's one where they were like hand lettering stuff, where they were typesetting stuff. So it was all fascinating, because those guys are monster legends of comic book art, and to hear them just discuss it is super cool. Oof, every one of these pages is unbelievable. I like the Don Quixote book I have too, because it's like a lot bigger. It's bigger than this one, so you can see the artwork even better. But man, this is crazy good. These feel like just Renaissance paintings or etchings, and yet they're panels in a comic book. Look at that. Unbelievable. Really cool. There's that image from the cover. That is insane. Yeah. It's killer. It's like, wow, look at this character. Look at this stonework. Like, to make it look like etching. Look at these cracks. Great compositions. No, I could not. It's cartoony in expression and realistic in environment. Wow, well put. Well put. Uniformity helps with ease. Why are not all iPhones and Android phones not in hexagonal and triangular shapes? It's antiquated and worse. Does one brother do the backgrounds while the other does the people? I don't know how that worked. That's a great question. I'm always fascinated too with, oh yeah, these guys were on Hunchback too. So the like, the cathedral, my God, Notre Dame, they did a lot of the visual development on cathedral and stuff like that. You could totally feel that. But yeah, your point of like when there are brothers or like a duo or something working on stuff, I always wonder how the division of labor goes. Like there's the Pander brothers, they did Grendel, big fans of their work. The Wachowskis, who used to be brothers, now they're just Wachowskis, who did the Matrix movies, like how they divided up. The Coen brothers, some of my all-time favorite directors. So yeah, with comic artists like these guys, the Brizzies, are there other comic artists that are like brothers? If you guys know, drop it in the chat. Only ones I can think of are the Pander brothers. I know Mike and Laura are their husband and wife, but he does all the artwork and she does the coloring. I know there's like father-son duos, right? There's like John Romita Jr., John Romita Sr., there's the Kuberts. I don't know. Wow, that's awesome. These guys work on Prince of Egypt? They look like they did. No. Yeah. Hunchback, Fantasia 2000, that's what their animated stuff. At least here in America. This is awesome. Really cool book. And the artwork alone this is 5 out of 5 right now for the artwork. Wow. I find that European artists, the emphasis on classical training, studying anatomy, value, color theory, layout, background, composition, all that is way stronger in Europe. Maybe that's just because the Renaissance, all the history there, the cultural history there, but dang, they can just draw circles. And a lot of them have dominated the Western market now with mainstream books. A lot of those artists from Italy, Spain are now the top artists for a lot of mainstream books. I think just the artistry is just out of this world. It's great. Awesome. Whew. Powerful. Yeah, the Firebird sequence in Fantasia 2000 is what they worked on. Seems like they're just doing books now. Which, that's fine by me. Really cool. Dante's Inferno, nice little surprise from the library. The Wachowski delusional pen. Yeah, they kind of went off a little bit. I love their movies, but they definitely had something happened there. I said that Wachowski. That's one of the things lacking in American comics due to, I think, comics being regarded so flippantly in America. Yes, absolutely agree with that. Okay, this is the last book we'll look at today. It's called Death or Glory. I don't know if Beats is still in the channel. Let me see if I can zoom out here. Beats, if you are still watching, give me more space. This book, the reason why I picked up this book is it is drawn by the artist Bengal. And Rick Remender's the writer, which I'm reading quite a number of Rick Remender things right now. Escape, that book Escape with the anthropomorphic characters in the war, reading by Remender, really enjoying that. I'm also reading his Deadly Class is a book that I'm reading that, first volume of that, which I'm enjoying. It's really cool. But the reason why I decided to, or I saw this and was interested in this is this artist Bengal. He is the announced artist on they're doing an Absolute Catwoman series, which is a spin-off of Absolute Batman, and Bengal is listed as the artist on it. So that's why I wanted to get this, because I've seen his work before, but I've not seen him do like consistent sequential art, or I've never read books that he's done consistent sequential art. I've just seen like pinups he's done or covers or whatever. So that's why I borrowed this, because I want to see who's going to be the what the work in Absolute Catwoman is going to be like. Who did the colors? Oh, I guess he did his own colors. Cool. I don't know if anybody's read this book before. It's cool though. He's got Bengal. Where's Bengal? Do they have a bio? Ah, here. He's European. Yep. This is his long-term creator-owned project with Recommender. Yeah, he's European. So another Euro guy, but he's got this. This feels very BD Frenchophile kind of influence. The coloring kind of gives me like, oh, we're looking at anime, but through a European lens. That's kind of the feel I get from his stuff. It's cool. Some cool angles. Feels like a movie already, just from first few pages. I like the colors. Work really well with his art. Whoa. Didn't see that page coming. That's cool. Really cool angle. That's not an easy angle to draw. I wonder if he used 3D models as like a reference. There's also been less and less focus on fine arts or the classics in American schools. I agree. Some schools, some of the public schools here don't even have art as a subject. Lindsay Rose says, I might wake up for voting. Okay, we're getting there. After this book. I'll flip through I won't flip through every page. I'll just flip through a good number of pages just so we can get a feel for Bengal's work, and then, or Bengal, I don't know how you pronounce it. And then we have this reference point. This is cool. We have this reference point for Absolute Catwoman whenever that book comes out. It's cool. So it seems like he can do the action. He can do the female lead. Absolute Catwoman's helmet actually is kind of helmety in the Absolute world, so that tracks. He can draw a circle for a head. Some cool expressions. It's neat. I think it's a cool choice. I mean, this format already is really, they call this the Prestige Edition, but it's nice because it's bigger. It feels widescreen. That's bad for people not to have art. I agree so. That looks European American? Yes. Art and Times J. Ryan says, Remender is a good writer. I like his books, Fear Agent and Black Science. I haven't read any of those, actually. And I'm starting to. It seems like the more and more I'm digging into, I'm kind of amazed at how much stuff he's written. It's pretty prolific. And a funny story, I actually worked at a studio at the same time Rick Remender did, and he was, I don't want to say just, but he was an assistant animator at the time, same as I was. And I think he had just he came up from LA. It's like the production studio I was working for up here. We were in the middle of working on like a ton of jobs. So they had to hire talent from LA, and they came up here. And he was sitting next to the lead animator on the job, who was a friend of mine, and just heard him talk. And like, he was getting into comics. He was doing his own independent comic. And then like fast forward a few decades later, I'm like, holy cow, that was the same dude. That was, he was a good artist too, you know, but that was the same dude that was working, and he just became this superstar writer. Cool. So it seems like this kind of road adventure in the desert. Costa Mesa, Arizona, something. New Mexico. like a high-speed chase. Some crazy shenanigans going on. It seems like Remender loves the genres that are not necessarily superhero genres. I know he's done some superhero stuff. Bancroft just reviewed or looked at one of his books, series 7 to Eternity, which looks amazing. I need to sit down and write it. Oh, look, here's a James Heron drawing. I need to sit down and... Oh, this is Duncan Fegredo. He's so good. I need to sit down and read that one, 7 to Eternity. But yeah, it seems like he does, more often than not, does non-superhero stuff. Like heist, little darker, edgy thrillers. There's some fun variant covers here. Eric Canetti. It's cool. Oh, Louis LaRosa. Huh. Sean Murphy. Of course, Dave Johnson. Yeah, kind of a who's who of variant cover artists. Nice. Yeah, look at those perspective lines. They're like shooting off to the moon to make it that extreme. Love it. Oh, that's cool. Some process pics here. Super cool. Love it. Yeah, I love seeing these things like next to the script. You can see how they're transferring it over. Yes, Rick Remender. Oh, that's right. He had just come off of Iron Giant. That's right. What? Prior to this, he ran a satellite of Wild Brain Animation? He did. That was a studio that I worked at with him. It was called Wild Brain, but it wasn't the satellite studio. It was the main studio here in San Francisco. Oh, I didn't know he ran a satellite. How funny. Pretty cool. All right, Death and Glory. We'll see what this is all about. We'll check it out. SS Camaro. Emo Tresh says, I took art in high school, but most of my knowledge after graduating was still primarily self-taught. Absolute Catwoman's helmet is almost as bad as the Absolute Bad logo. Here we go, Mo Biggs. Welcome back. I don't like the circle head. I think it's kind of cool. Cats' heads don't look like spheres. Jeffrey Beats says, I got to bounce. I watch the rest later. Somebody vote for PP for me. Okay. Thanks, Beats. Let me get that going, and then wait. Okay, cool. That almost backfired. Okay, so here's the poll that I set up. Let me share the link in the chat, and I will also pin it. Oh, shoot. I just messed that up. Okay, I just dropped the link in the chat. I will pin it to the top as well. So if this is your first time here or you're new to this channel, what I like to do on my Wednesday comics is have the chat vote for what their favorite book was. Oftentimes it doesn't totally work out because some people leave before we get to voting, like Beats. But anyway, for those of you who are here, I dropped the link in the chat. I just pinned it to the top. Click on that link. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can just vote. Vote once. You can only vote once, but vote for your favorite book. And then what I'll do just for fun is I'll change the thumbnail of this show so I can remember, if I look back in the past, which book everybody liked the most or which got the most votes. So currently the thumbnail is Batman Deadpool, but that can change based on your votes here. And then there we go, live votes. The live results. This is a real-time voting guide right now. So right now we're split 3 votes. Wraith of God, Dante's Inferno, Death and Glory. Okay, if I don't hear from, I'm assuming Beats left, but if I don't hear from him in like a minute or so that he's still here and voted, then I will vote for him. I usually don't vote in this poll, but I will vote for him for Paul Pope. Because I'm that nice of a host. So let me catch up on the chat while you guys continue to vote. Wow, Death and Glory got 2 votes already, and look at that. Great landscapes. I like the blocking for Death and Glory. Nice. These are some awesome covers in the gallery. Great covers, yes. Awesome. Great altered perspectives. Timmy Mello's in the house. What's up, Timmy Mello?
And the Guardians are headed to October.
I'm actually just getting out of work. All right. Welcome, Timmy Mello. These are the votes. These are the books we're voting on. You probably didn't see them all. But feel free to vote if you want to. Great job, guys. Take a load off, Timmy Mello. Death and Glory looks interesting. I'll have to check it out. Nice. Wow, I think that's the first book that I've shared on stream that Art and Times of J. Ryan has kind of liked. I take that as a compliment. Did you make it through all the comics? It also doesn't work out sometimes because some of us are determined to tie the votes. True. That is true. So we got 4 votes right now. Crazy split. I almost voted for Death and Glory. It looks really great. Cool. That one's a close one. 2 votes for Death and Glory. That surprises me, actually. All right, I don't hear Beats. Beats, I'm going to give you another 20 seconds. Well, 30 seconds. And if I don't hear anything in about 30 seconds, I'll vote for you on your behalf. I'll gladly drop my vote as a vote for THB. 5 votes in, 2 for Death and Glory, 1 for Exquisite Corpses, 1 for Wraith of God, 1 for Dante's Inferno. Look at that. The thumbnail I picked, Batman Deadpool 1, not even on the board. That doesn't surprise me. That's pretty standard fare. Batman Deadpool 1. Nothing to call home about. I had to get it because it's kind of like an event, and I'm a fan of Dan Mora's artwork. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to read that and then forget about it in about 2 weeks. Death and Glory got 2 votes now. Dang it, Comrade Sammy, what are you doing? Art and Times of J. Ryan says, I like Remender's work. Yeah, he's good. He's a good writer, for sure. I couldn't be bothered with the at when referring to people before, and now I'm not, and I'm not going to start it now, Emo Trash says. All right. 11 watchers, 5 votes. Anybody going to vote for another one? Let's see. People vote. Timmy Mello says, I'll vote for Lepresti. All right. Do it. Wait. In order to tie stuff? So 2 for Wraith of God. 2 for Death and Glory. This is like a video game for you guys. What did I do? Comments. It's about tying the vote. So we'd never have a clear winner. I'm going to do the Bancroft thing where I'm going to do another vote for just 2. Oh, gosh. 2 and 2. Okay, I'm voting. Well, this is not going to change anything, but let me see. I'm going to vote for THB on behalf of Beats. That didn't help anything. I just want to drag out Rocky's suffering, hoping for at least a tie. None of this matters. All that matters in life are ties, apparently, is what I'm learning the longer I do this. 7 votes, 2 for Wraith of God, 2 for Death and Glory, 1 for Exquisite Corpses, 1 for THB, and 1 for Dante's Inferno. Not bad. Comrade Sammy says, I voted for Exquisite Corpses. Oh, well done, Comrade Sammy. Well done. Where's Big Boy Burgers? So Mark had a meeting. Mark with the power of... I'm sorry, Big Boy had a meeting too with Mark. Yeah, he's probably not going to get to vote in here. I'm guessing. I added another color to the chart. I can't control the colors. Much like YouTube gift memberships, I can't control anything on Straw Poll's account. But it is pleasant. Pleasant colors. All right, is that all the votes we got? 7 votes? I'm assuming that's where we're at. 2 votes, 2 votes, 1 vote. I'm going to split this now. Nothing matters in life but ties. Sounds like a memo coming down from corporate. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to reset this, and we're going to vote on the top 2, Wraith of God or Death and Glory. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to give this another 10 seconds, and then we'll reset it. Poetic justice for the way the entire extended Burgers family was stuffing the ballot box for Dr. Doom last week. I'm not going to say whether or not I thought something was going on coming from Florida, but I'll just let that comment sit. Gladly we'll do that Dr. Doom Master Study, which I mentioned this at the top of the stream. Hopefully I can start that at least one stream before Thanksgiving. It's going to get gnarly next week for me. It's already getting kind of crazy now. So yeah, but we've got to start it. Because if we have any hope of finishing that master study before the end of the year, we got to start it now. Top 2 are tied though, and that does make me happy. Big Boy's hanging out with Mark now. He usually shows up just as Mark leaves though. True. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to reset this poll. Let's see if we can do this. Edit. All right. So the 2 top winners were Wraith of God and Death and Glory. Save changes. And then we're going to reset it. Yes, all votes will be removed. There we go. And then I'm going to... I think it's the same link, guys. I'm just going to post it in the chat again, just in case. I think it's the same link. So, there we go. Click on that. Let's win this. I mean, let's untie this, if you will. It definitely looked like a stuffing the ballot situation, which isn't fair. You know what? It's all fair. It's all fair. 2 votes for Death and Glory. Come on now. Two votes. Should I put a time limit? I could put a timer up there. That is something we can do. You guys keep voting. Can I put a timer up there? Duration. Do a 1-minute timer. Okay. And no, I don't want a background. No background. And then add it. Did I add it somewhere? Oh, that is the wimpiest looking timer I've ever seen. Why is it italicized? I don't like that. Not that it matters, but it kind of does. Let's just do bold. Okay, there. All right, I'm going to start this timer. And if you haven't voted by the end of this, 4 votes. it looks like Death and Glory is going to win this. Do a limit of 3 a.m. It'll work out. Mobig says, let's untie this. Keep that same energy. Could not let this stream go by without Pig Feeder Lady. Well done, Mobigs. Well done. Channel member Mobigs dropping the Pig Feeder Lady. I'm going to move this over here. That tangent bothers me. Okay, this is the way. Those pigs need feeding. No shenanigans. I voted. Do I get a sticker? 4 votes, 80%. Death and Glory is running away with this in her Camaro. Rocky brings the pigs to her. It's not an ideal solution. Vote twice, vote often. Just put some cardboard in front of the poll to guarantee fair voting. I need my sticker and piece of candy for doing my civic duty. There we go. Pig Feeder Lady is dropping. Those subscribers, man, they know how to use it. It looks like Death and Glory is winning here, everybody. 4 votes, 1 votes. I doubt 5 people are going to come in, or 4 people are going to come in and steal this, especially since Mark's not around right now. And all his relatives. So I'm going to call it Death and Glory is the winner. Surprise winner for me. I was not expecting that at all. Thank you, guys. Boom. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Gosh, what am I eating for dinner? There we go. Death and Glory is going to be the new thumbnail. I'll craft a little thumbnail for this after stream's over. But there we go. That was the My Wednesday Comics for this week. Some cool stuff in it, right? Yeah, like some cool, like non-conventional, non-mainstream stuff mixed in with some mainstream stuff too. So that's what I always like to do. The only books I picked up, well, I guess THB was a little unconventional already out of the store, but that Batman, Deadpool, and Exquisite Corpses, Batman, Deadpool, sure, like event comic, and then Exquisite Corpses. You guys have seen me talk about that one ad nauseum on this stream a number of times, so nothing new to call home. But those were really the only 2 floppies that I picked up this week, and then that THB one I knew I wanted to talk about. But I really love that I was able to include the Dante's Inferno and now winner Death and Glory, because that's the fun about it, right? Like, it's always doesn't just have to be the mainstream, or even the Wraith of God. Sorry, I forgot that. It doesn't just have to be the mainstream books. There's so much out there, so many comics to find, and just when you think like, oh, I guess I've seen it all, nope, there's like something new around the corner. So I love being able to share that with you guys. Hopefully you saw something that you liked and piqued your interest. I heard a few of you guys in the chat say so that always brings warmth to my heart, that I was able to make you a little bit more poorer, but a little bit more richer in the heart. Awesome that you guys were here. Thank you so much. Wow, Art in Times of J. Ryan, who are you? I've never heard such positivity, like, just exude from you. This is amazing. I love it. I'm going to give you one of these. Cranberry Landers, I think you did like 3 gift memberships maybe today. I'm giving you one more Kiwi. Here you go. This is for you, Cranberry Landers. We're going to end it out on this. Thank you guys so much for being here. I so appreciate you. Please like and subscribe this stream, my channel. Come join us on Discord if you want. Oh, I'll drop the quick Discord link as other things play. And because Mo Biggs is back, so we gotta talk about Discord once at least. There we go. Discord link is in the chat. Come join the discussion. Super fun. And Fourth Wall is out there too. I know I don't talk about it as much as I do Discord, but that becomes even more important as the master studies continue and I continue to sell my own work. So come join. It's a party. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your Thursday. And I will let you know as soon as somebody said something on Discord. I'll go watch that like 6-7 thing maybe on Discord. But I will let you guys know once I get that master study set up. I was hoping to do it this week. Life didn't let me, but let's shoot for trying to get our first one rolling, the first stream rolling for that master study, the Jack Kirby double pager spread before Thanksgiving. All right, take it easy, everybody. I will talk to you later. Here's your Kiwi, Cranberry Langers, and then I'll give the outro right after it. So peace, see you later.